But I'm going to use a function here in good old Streamlabs, where I'm just going to record directly and see how much of my hard drive that eats up compared to downloading a stream.
Got it. No, it's fine.
What?
What?
Don't you?
Seppo said he can't watch himself.
You couldn't watch yourself anyway. There's no video cameras.
So you don't want to show us to the world. I see. You're ashamed of us.
It's still going to go onto YouTube.
Why don't you love us, Papa?
When last we left our heroes, you had made your way out of the town of Alton towards the Witchwood, where deep inside of this massive forest lies Skullgore Bridge, a single point of ingress that your enemy, the Red Hand, could use to attack the town of Alton. However, you came up with the idea that if Skullgore Bridge is destroyed, it will delay the army's movements significantly. Yeah, I just saw it too. Did we lose a brand?
Am I here?
Yeah, I hear you.
I don't know what happened. Fantasy Grounds is no longer open.
Mega weird.
So keep
Also,
going.
do you have a sync tube? Oh, you do.
I do.
Yep.
We've done this before. We're not amateurs at all.
So, you made your way towards the Witchwood, and on the road there you did encounter and defeat a group of Red Hand scouts who were already making their way toward the city. And that is where we pick up with you guys just waking up from camp.
Interrogation.
Ah, you did capture one, didn't you? So, tied up to a tree just near your camp is one of the elven Red Hand scouts that you captured.
What are some wonderful things we're gonna ask this gentleman?
I'm not really the interrogator. Y'all two are, mostly.
Your cleanup crew.
Yeah.
Do you have... I will be the front man on the interrogation unless you would rather be the front man, Steffo.
Who?
Jules.
I'll think you see what you picked up. See what you know.
Alright.
How my students doing?
Alright. I can be good. I'll be good cop. You can be bad cop.
Yes. I
So-
will use. This is. Fantasy Grounds is super laggy right now for some reason. I will use. Where is it?
What information do we want to try and get out of this interrogation? Figure out where the army's headed, where they're at. What else? If they have,
There's a finger here.
they have who's the leader?
We haven't short rested, long rested, right? Or did we just do one right now?
I remember saying that you guys were setting up camp, so I'll assume that you long rested at a camp. Works for me.
You want to give us? Okay. You want to give us that sweet long rest?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I can do that in game. You rest.
Oh, I know why
Boom.
my shit's super
There
laggy,
we
because
go.
I'm downloading Mass Effect.
That would explain a
would do it.
lot.
Okay. I'm going to use my Fade Presence. As he begins to, not immediately, but like as he starts to talk, and I'm gonna slowly just like Geralt when he goes into kill mode.
Got it. Okay.
Slowly, just like behind from the back. Just
So then, who is talking to the captive right now? What do you say?
Be me.
Okay.
What's his demeanor?
His demeanor is tied to a tree, looking down, sort of just waiting. He looks angry. Looks like he's in deep thought.
So, how much time has passed since?
Well, you guys
We-
slept, so it would have at least been 7
Yeah.
hours.
That's what I want to make sure. So I'll walk up to him and ask him, "Did you have a good nap?"
He looks up. No, I didn't.
Um. I'll go on and I'll say, "Sorry, it wasn't the most accommodating, but you know, could have been a lot worse for somebody that tried to kill us not too long ago." Eh?
Oh, you're still gonna get killed. Even if it's not by me.
I've heard that before, a lot actually, but the day has not yet came. One day, but not today. But that aside, I just simply want to chat with you a little bit. See if we have any way we could help each other out a little bit.
I wouldn't help you.
See, that's what they always say, but other circumstances tend to unfold and people get more cooperative suddenly.
I'll start to like change behind him, like over
Okay.
his shoulder.
Each of you
Or
make an
under his shoulder.
intimidation check.
Can I be trying to persuade him?
No.
Alright. But I wanted to be the good cop. That's pretty good anyways. That is a 21.
Ooh. 21 and a 13?
Mine
Yeah.
lagged, so count.
Stop downloading master.
So,
Actually, well, it's fine.
alright. So, you see, as you look at him, you begin to realize this is a young elf. And he's holding up this
did he
demeanor of, what? Hello?
Well, because of that, because he's frightened by me. Because of fate presence.
Okay.
Maybe.
Wait, is that just automatically he's frightened of you, or what's the save?
He has to make a wisdom save. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
It's,
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a whole thing. It's not just like change.
got it. Okay, yeah, no, he
There
failed.
you
He's
go.
frightened of you.
Okay.
So, you see that, like, this young elf who's trying so hard to hold up this demeanor of, like, bravery and you know, unshakability, kind of just drops. Like, he can tell he's gotten in over his head. He says, "What do you want to know? I don't know much, just to preface, but what do you want to know?"
I wanna sit down in front of him, cross-legged.
How
And
about you answer all our questions and then we can give you a long rest?
or let's just roll it back a little bit. So, and I want to ask him in. Let me make sure. Skills? No. Abilities? Yes. In Elvish, I just want to ask him, why he joined the Red Hand. Kind of busted out.
So,
Fluent Elvish.
first off, he looks very surprised that you're speaking to him in Elvish. And he looks back up at you. Same reason we all did. I mean, the tribes, they've just... We don't live. We hide in these forests from humans and their cities and their kingdoms, and the Huntmasters promised a different future. A better one where we can finally just be free. It's how we rallied everybody.
At what cost, though?
I guess I didn't think about it too hard, but... I mean, it's only fair, right? Elves have been pushed aside over and over again, victim of pogroms and wars and all this bloodshed. It's the humans' turn.
Still continuing in Elvish, I want to ask him, but what if there was another way?
Has he been answering Brandon?
Yeah, he's talking in Elvish.
Okay.
And he says, I've never heard of another way.
Well, what if I told you one of my best friends was an elf? And I also didn't learn Elven from just reading.
Well, where did you then?
My old mentor, he was an elf. A good one at that. Until, whatever the Red Hand previously did, and made a valiant effort to destroy me and all my allies.
Well, but... why would the Huntmaster attack elves?
Afraid his views are more black and white. Either you're an elf or you're an enemy. Even those that sided with humans, or not even sided, just cooperated with humans. I think he sees them as enemies who need to be eliminated, unfortunately.
Well, that doesn't make sense. Because it's not just elves in the Red Hand, there's gnomes and tieflings and recently orcs and other things.
His statement backs up kind of what we know. We've seen other stuff, right?
So,
even just now.
One of the fingers of the Red Hand was a tiefling.
Yeah, that's true.
You have fought against creatures working with the Red Hand that had wargs, which are typically an orcish animal.
So, what am I saying? Is it on base, or what I know?
Oh, what you're right on the money. Yeah.
Do you think, I'm asking, not stating, do you think that the Huntmaster could just be using them as an ends to a means? Is he above such things?
I don't know. I've only ever actually personally talked to him one time, and he seemed to believe in what he was saying. But I don't know,
What was
maybe.
he saying exactly?
Well, when I met him, there were just a few of us, younger ones. I was the oldest one, and I'm not very old. And he was just reassuring us that this mission was for good, for freedom, that everyone that the Red Hand fights for would be free. That when he was done, there wouldn't even be a Red Hand anymore. There'd be no government, nobody, no kings. Not even him.
Do you believe that? I'm asking.
I believe that he believed it.
So, I will.
I was wanting to read his face.
I'll give it to you. Because I just saw what happened. Everything that this elf has told you up to this point is absolutely the truth as he sees it. Right? The elf is not lying to you. If something is wrong, it's because he doesn't know the information perfectly.
Yep.
I'm gonna just tell Bran, we're wasting our time. He looks like he doesn't even know what's going on.
I'll just kind of raise my hand just to, as I got this. Don't worry. Kind of gesture, and I'll turn back to the elf, and I'll ask him. So what now? Where do you see yourself? Are you gonna go back to the Red Hand and continue on this warpath?
I don't know.
Or
I think for now, after all this, after almost getting killed by you, after you telling me about the Hunt Master, I think before I do anything, I'm just gonna go home.
sounds like a good plan. No, I'm not opposed to releasing you, but to satisfy my more bloodthirsty companions, could you tell me some information about what's going on with the Red Hand right now?
Is it time to kill him yet?
He looks up very concerned.
I just let out a little sigh.
Listen, that
Deep breaths. Now I'm gonna slip back into common.
as you say that in common, he sort of follows you into the same language, and he says, I know this much. I was sent out from Wrathkeep. It's deep in the Witchwood. Some old human fort from a long time ago. I don't know, but the Wrathkeep. Yes, that's
F or
it, Vraath. But that's where a lot of the scouts are being held, and all the new orc troops. They've been gathering there too. So, if I had to surmise, I guess I'd say that all in all, we're housing 20, maybe in total, scouts there. But they're not all there at one time, ever, so.
Of course. Do you have any other information about the Red Hand at large?
I know that I
Who's
overheard.
acting? Oh, go ahead.
So, the scouts, my group, we're under the command of an orc named Koth. He's at Wrathkeep, or most of the time, at least, is at Wrathkeep. And the main army that's coming, that's being helmed by the Hunt Master himself. But there's one other. There's a secret force that's coming from a different way, and I don't know where they're coming from or what the grand plan is. I just know that there is another force that no one knows about. I don't even know who's in charge of them. The Huntmaster just refers to him as the Ghost Lord. I'll tell you this, though. If there are any plans at all, if there's anything important to know, it's in Vrath Keep. It's in Koth's private chamber, in the war room.
Okay, then.
If you decide to go, you've got time. The army is still, I don't know, about 24 hours away from here. So, whatever you're gonna do, hurry.
Alright, we shall. And we got him tied up with rope.
Yeah.
Alright. I want to... We've disarmed him, right?
Yes.
What weapons did he have on him? Obviously, he had his bow.
He had a dagger and a bow and some arrows.
No. Oh. Alright, I'm gonna motion. I'll tell him I'll be back momentarily after I quell my companions, and I'm gonna motion for Jules and Dubar to step off to the side out of earshot with me.
Walk towards, not unlocking eyes with the kid.
Yeah. You don't turn your back to him, basically.
Yeah.
So, we just let the kid go.
Yeah. He's scared half to death.
Can
Yeah.
I do something first? It's harmless to some.
Is it?
Yeah.
That's
Physically.
how harmless.
Physically harmless.
Are you going to traumatize him?
Depends what he's seen in his life.
Alright. I don't know.
It'll be just
And-
it's harmless. It won't hurt him. Just so he leaves here with urgency.
I don't know. He's been kind of a good kid so far.
Has he been though?
I mean, slightly led
He tried to
astray,
kill
but
us.
I mean, yeah, but so did the troll. But you know, troll's past redemption, I think. Alright, have your fun. Take it light on him. After we untie him, probably. I'm assuming.
Before.
Who?
I'll walk up to him, like crack my knuckles.
Hold on
Okay.
before you do. Which way did you say? Which way the keep was?
You said it's deep in the Witchwood, which is north of you.
Kind of northwest, kind of.
Yeah.
Right. I will untie him and grab his hand, help him up, and ask him in Elvish again. I'll ask him what his name is.
Well, hold on. I don't want to over precedent things. Steffa was already walking up and doing something before you.
Yeah,
Okay.
I can't have his hands untied.
Yeah.
Okay,
So,
okay.
Steffa, what are you doing? Or
As he's
Jules.
tied up.
Yeah.
You said, where is this town? Sorry again.
The keep?
The keep.
Yeah.
It's to the northwest of us somewhere.
So
Exact
as I
whereabouts.
walk up, I'm gonna say, to the southwest, there's a town. They have water. They have people there that can help you. I would suggest running that direction. As I start digging into my bag, and I immediately start applying things to his face. And I slowly start, with my disguise kit, making him look very ladylike.
Oh my gosh. I'm just gonna
Southwest.
sigh and roll my eyes.
Blush, the whole nine.
Yep.
As
Make
I'm
a
done-
make an intimidation check, I guess.
No performance. Well,
19.
he said he wanted to go home, though, Stefo.
Yeah, Southwest is the closest place where you can go.
He's so scared, he doesn't even say anything. He just nods and lets you do what you're doing.
You look beautiful. You look stunning. Please, just maybe keep it on for a while. This really suits you.
And in Elvish, I'm going to say I'm sorry for his peculiarities.
He looks at you and in Elvish says, "Does he do this to everyone?"
No, but of the things he could do to you, this is definitely on the lighter end, so just grin and bear it, I guess.
All done. Beautiful. Look at you. Oh, I get a light little temple.
He looks
beautiful.
He looks straight at Bran and just, "Can I go now?"
One last thing before you go. What's your name, son?
Talor Sudet Aptiri Kitor.
I'm gonna ask you to type that out for me.
Okay, hold on.
Do you remember what you just said, or?
Yeah, no, it's written down.
You fucking what?
You fucking what, mate?
What the fuck is that?
I will say, okay, Tyler, be on your way. No more warpaths anymore, though.
Of
I
course.
hate to meet you again, or if I do meet you again, I don't want it to be in combat. Understood?
Me neither. You guys are terrifying.
Yeah, I would like to see him again. It'd be easy pickings.
So, and as you cut the rope, he gets up and walks away and just starts wiping at his face and running.
Like a McCurtsey little.
So, and Bran, you would know this, having grown up around elves. This is actually the standard format for almost all elven names. It is first name, family name, and then the tribe that they're from.
Gotcha.
So, Talor
So what do I know?
Sudat of the Tiri Kitor.
What do I know about Tiriki Door?
So you know that a name like that, because there's only like 6 major cultures of elf. So the Tiri Kitor are just probably a small tribe that are part of one of the larger cultures.
Gotcha. Alright. Well,
I think I did great. I think we all did great.
I'm just gonna bite my tongue on the whole dress-up situation and gather my gear and start breaking down camp and heading towards the bridge.
Okay. So, you begin to make your way into the Witchwood. And after a little bit of traveling, you are in it. You are properly in this forest at this time. And as soon as you enter, I want Jules to make an Arcana check, Bran to make a Survival check, and Dubar to make a History check.
Arcana.
It's 18 for me on the survival.
What would I rolled on a d20? Oh, that's a 19 on an actual roll. Oh well.
I've told you, you're always welcome to use your dice. Dubar?
24.
Okay.
Really?
So, Dubar, you kind of are taking in your environment, and based on what you know of just how a forest in this region is supposed to be, this isn't that. There is fauna and things growing here that shouldn't be. And Bran, you take note of this too, very, very quickly. And with your training, you actually begin to notice immediately that a lot of what you're seeing strikes shocking similarity to what you would see in the Feywild.
Mm. Interesting. A breach, perhaps?
Potentially.
Hmm. Does it seem...
Jules, you're whistling as you walk, and the world is
I'm
great.
Yeah,
So,
I'm watching my feet as I walk.
does it seem to be like growing in intensity as we continue on the path we're going, or is it just
I
kind
mean,
of
at this point, it's very gradual. And as far as getting more intense, you can't really tell. It's more of just little things being out of place, fauna that shouldn't be
Well,
there.
stuff's not adding up, basically?
Stuff is not adding up.
You guys think we'll see him again? I sort of hope.
Thinking, what?
Do you think we'll see him again?
Who knows? Maybe.
I was just thinking, is that too much? No.
It was a little weird.
I mean, I was gonna like blow his finger off or something if he wasn't gonna talk, so that's pretty tame.
I mean, yeah, but
Yeah,
Fair
but
enough.
the emotional damage, that's been done.
I said physical was non-existent.
Yeah.
I just kind of shake my head at the whole ordeal and try and purge it from my memory.
So it's been a while since I've seen some.
Oh my god.
Well, I know I'm not exactly an expert in forests,
Mm-hmm.
but does anybody else feel a little weird here?
Definitely. Yeah, this is probably a highly likely Paywall breach.
Well, isn't that what
Uh,
you sort of do, specialize in?
It is, but I don't know if you noticed, but our hands are a little full at the moment. But, so, do I know anything about the Earth Keep?
Wrath
Is it
Keep,
a... right.
make a history check.
That is history. That's like a 13.
13. Okay,
I was
yeah.
wondering if it had Warden Association.
No, it's not something that you recognize as associated with the Wardens at all. I'll give you that, but 13 is not good enough for anything else, really.
Well, I guess depending after we get done with this expedition to destroy the bridge, it could be worthwhile to swing by Wrath Keep, and possible we acquire more information about the Bay Breach, and then also we get more information about our current cause. So possibly two birds, one stone. That sounds like a rational course of action to you two, fine gentlemen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with it.
But I got pressing matters to attend to, so let's boogie.
So, at this point, Bran and Jules,
Oh,
as you're walking, you begin to see some strange things happening. you
How
see,
strange.
you almost get the sense that some of the just woodland creatures around you seem to take note of your presence, look at you momentarily, and then run. And then suddenly, it's as if the whole forest begins to fill with mist. And the day becomes unusually and almost unnaturally dark.
I don't like this.
What time is it? I asked out loud.
It should be a
What time
little
is
bit
it?
before midday, like 10 a.m.
I asked out loud.
Oh, sorry.
It's all good. The Rad's reference.
It's not this
Does it
late.
look like? Yeah.
Dubar, you don't see any of this.
Oh, I don't.
So it's like nighttime.
The fuck are you talking about?
Dubar,
Just because.
Bran, and Jules are gone.
Oh, no.
Ooh. Oh, neat.
Who am I talking to?
No one. You're alone in the woods.
Well,
Or where's
is
that
Echo with us, or is Echo? Yeah.
Echo's here. Echo's with you.
Alright.
Goes with Dubar.
So
What the heck?
the two of you begin to hear howling. And the wood, the trees and the canopies almost begin to bend out of the way, revealing behind them a massive swath of the night sky. And as you look up, you see howling through the night, with the moon at their back, this seemingly endless cavalcade of spectral riders with an almost ghostly, demonic appearance.
And
How
what
far
are they
away?
doing exactly?
They seem to just be stampeding in numbering in the thousands through the night sky, and they begin to swoop down towards you. Just before they get there, you see the one at the helm. You see this figure, spectral in nature, some kind of like a creature you've never seen, humanoid in nature, but with eyes glowing in this dark green, and with this just innate presence of something otherworldly that almost seems to glow slightly against the background behind him, and with a crown made out of antlers and thorns. I need both of you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Yeah. Yeah. Not bad. 17.
I can't remember if it's this character or the other one where I was immune to it. Stuff.
Hey, your other one's Bard. I don't know.
Come on, Fantasy Grounds. Here we go. Oh.
So, Bran, you managed to steel yourself against this, against what's coming. But, Jules, you do not quite. And as this cavalcade sweeps across where you are both standing, Jules, you feel yourself get swept up in it. Almost like you're being carried away, and the fear is unlike anything you've ever felt before.
Is
And I
he
want...
actually being carried away?
Hold on.
Or...
Jules, somewhere, I want you to mark on your character sheet 1 point of fear.
no. Well, no, we had sanity before.
Okay. I have marked it.
Okay. And as this finally ends, almost like waking up from a bad dream, the mist begins to fade. And you guys are right back where you were. And just a few steps ahead of you is Dubar, who's looking around, wondering where the hell you guys just went.
It's a very good question.
Well, I know I'm not that good at this forest stuff, but come on, guys. You can wait a little bit.
I'm gonna reach over and chase Jules just a little bit, trying to snap
He was
him out of it.
flying, and then he went up, and I went up, and he just...
I'm gonna give
So many.
Jules kind of a light slap. Not too
There's-
hard.
Did you saw them, right? They're
I saw it. It was weird,
all-
but I gotta
they're
pull
all
it back
the
together.
sky.
Yeah,
They were-
yeah. We're back here
Okay.
now. DeBar's looking at you funny.
Well, I mean, that's most of the time.
Yeah, that's true, but more funny than usual.
There's so many.
You call upon demons with your hand, Jules. Come on, what did you see?
That
I was so
was
scared.
No, I don't know, man. I don't.
Let's just say the sooner we get out of here and get rid of whatever's going on, hey or otherwise, the better.
So,
And
you guys...
so,
And I, for my own character role, I just want to check something.
Okay.
If I don't know, that's just me. If I were the guy mentioned something about a ghost lord thing, and if it walks like a ghost and flies in this sky and scares the shit out of me like a ghost, and if there's someone in charge, I think I saw him.
it's a good point. I did not put that together until just now.
That's just me though. I don't.
Could this possibly be the supposed ghost lord?
Now, why did I? That's where I agree we should leave
Yeah,
here, but
doesn't.
I just need to say it. And
Ah,
yeah,
Well, let's
leave.
just keep trying to push on and hope we don't have to mess with this again. Which
Okay.
never fucking works out, but...
Okay. So, you continue your march into the Witchwood. And after some time of walking forward, you see what looks to be a very old but well-made cabin just off the road next to a small, reservoir of water. And it looks like the first little beacon of civilization or someone else being out here that you've seen since you entered the Witchwood.
so it looks lived in, occupied.
Oh, very. You can see, like, a woodsman's axe outside on a stump that's clearly been used to chop wood for a fire. You can see a stone fireplace. Like, it has all the makings of a person's home.
Cozy little home. Do we see anyone? Also, I'm assuming it's like actually daytime now, right?
Yeah, it is actually daytime now. Make a perception check, Bryn.
While he's making that, how long since that incident versus us getting here? How long was that?
It's been about 15 minutes.
Oh,
The
so it was
21.
pretty recent.
Yeah. So 21. You see what looks like the signs of movement inside, and outside on the porch you see additionally, 3 quite large mastiffs, large dogs, that 2 of which seem to be asleep, and the other one seems to be just sort of entertaining itself with a little piece of like wood or something that it found on the ground.
Maybe not the dogs, but are we here to clean house, so to speak?
I don't think so.
Shouldn't. Unless they are crazy and act hostile to us, but somebody living out here, I mean, obviously they're either brave or kind of crazy. Because there's still definitely evidence of the Feywild leaking or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, it hasn't really stopped. Yeah.
Yeah. Then, gonna not like real loud, but just kind of call out. Is anybody home?
At which point, all 3 dogs just kind of stand at attention and are looking at you and just growling a little bit. To wit, Echo instinctively just responds with a small growl of her own. And
stop and not move any closer.
So, and you hear from inside the house, "Who's there?"
It's a band of travelers looking for a friendly face. Or, at this point, take non-hostile face.
Friendly face out here? You sound like a visitor. We don't get many visitors out here. Especially not anymore. And you see the door slowly open up, and you see, coming out of the cabin, not significantly taller than the dogs, is a quite elderly gnomish man. And, he looks at you and says, "The hell do you want with me?"
Well, we just wanted to get a little bit of information about the lay of the land, possibly. That wouldn't be too bothersome for you.
Let me ask you a question, then. How do you feel about dogs?
Honestly, I don't mind dogs at all. I personally am more of a cat person. I kind of gesture down to Echo. But I have no opposition to a good companion.
And you two?
Nice dogs? Love them. Mean dogs? I try to be faster.
I didn't. There's not very many dogs in.
No?
Fuck, why am I blanking on?
Gachaw?
Gachaw, yeah. In underground cities, I'm assuming.
No.
Yeah, I'll say, well, I didn't really grow up around them, but I enjoy their company any chance I get.
Alright then, good. Can't trust someone who doesn't like dogs, but you seem to be at least not anti-dog. So, that says something. Second question.
Do we get to ask a question in return? Or do you
In
get
a
to ask
minute.
questions?
In a minute. Patience.
I just wanted to establish how this was going to go down.
You've come to my house, thank you.
And it's fair.
So, second question. What are your names?
I'm Bran.
Jules.
I would like to make an insight or a perception check to see if there's a bridge around.
Okay. Make a perception check.
But that was more of a joke.
Oh, okay. And you?
Dubar.
Dubar, Bran, and Jules. Well, Right, good. Can't trust someone who won't share the name. And, in the light of those two questions, my name is Jor, and I like dogs.
Is that what it? DJ-OR?
Just Jorr. So,
Gnomes shorter than dwarves?
yes.
Fuck yeah.
That's a new sensation for you, huh?
Mhm.
So, maybe we come a little bit closer.
Well, it's not up to me.
Or like, huh? I didn't know if you would be able to persuade your four-legged friends.
Oh, I'm sure that I could, but I'm not going to. You see,
Fair enough.
they decide who here have good moral fiber.
Fair enough. I will take a kind of a testing step forward.
Hold on.
See.
So, you take a step forward. Bran, I want you to make an animal handling check.
Let's go. Guess who's proficient at this? That's like 17 plus 7.
Whew! So, you take a step forward, and there's that same growling, but you keep taking steps forward, and they don't seem to do anything. Finally, you get close enough to put your hand on one of them and give them a little pat, and suddenly...
Touch behind the ears.
Yeah. And then suddenly they just start licking you.
Nice.
And he goes,
Mission accomplished.
well, look at that. That's good. Last visitor who tried that lost a hand. Still got the hand, actually.
Just glad I'm confident in my abilities.
So it would seem. All right, come on, you two. Looking at Jules and Dubar.
Oh.
Hands to my side. I'll walk up with Dubar if you walk up.
Can I, is the porch kind of elevated, or...
Yeah, there's a little, it's only like a foot off the ground, but there's a little wooden porch out there.
Well, kind of sit down on it.
Okay.
One leg on, one leg off, kind of do.
Nice.
Scratch the dogs behind the ears.
So he says,
Kind
oh,
of do the scratch one dog with one hand, and scratch Echo with the other, so she doesn't get jealous. Kind of do.
right, obviously. You see that there's still a little bit of like, the dogs seem to like the three of you, but you know, dogs and cats, there's still a little bit of tension there.
Yeah.
And as you do that, the Jor looks up at you and just goes, oh, it looks like Blue's taking a bit of a liking to you.
Blue?
Yes, Blue, it's that one there. I named him Blue. Because he looked kind of sad when I found him.
I was saying it looks more like an amber gray, but yeah.
No, he was definitely blue when I found him. He's not really blue anymore, but you know, the name stuck. And then this is red, because when I found him, oh, he was a mean one. He's like a devil, so I named him Red. And that one over there is Beauregard.
I don't know that color.
Yeah, it's not a color, I just thought it was a good name.
Okay.
I was gonna say, where do I know that name from? But then it hit me. So now, since you ask all your questions, would you mind if we ask a couple?
Yeah, ask away. If the dogs like you, I like you.
Could you tell us where the bridge is north of here?
The bridge?
How far away we are?
Well, you are currently on the Witch Road. The Witch's Trail, as some call it. I wouldn't give any stock to that. There's not been witches in these woods for... Well, I don't remember, and that should tell you it's been a long fucking time.
How old are you?
Me? I am approximately, carry the 123.
Seems
You look good
right
for your
my
age.
Yeah.
Thank
You
you.
ever been married?
Uh, that's a real personal question to ask right out of the gate.
I thought we just.
Hey.
There was a
He has
limit
a
on.
boundary thing.
Oh,
Yeah, we're trying to help him with that.
I thought it's just question time. Got it. What's your favorite color?
Uh,
Blue?
really, I'm a purple kind of person.
Red and blue. I get you.
There you go. See, he's clever. Also, you just never see purple in the wild, so it's always fun when you do.
I saw a purple flower like 100 feet that way, but
Purple
that
flower?
was weird.
There's not supposed to be purple flowers out here. Yes, it gets
Yeah.
weirder every fucking day.
About that. What other kind of, have you noticed anything weird lately? Or
Weird?
maybe not lately, but are things different more recently than they used to be? In a less than general sense?
Well, certainly, actually. Things have been quite strange. It has to do, I'm sure, with all these crazy elves and orcs and goblins and bugbears and, oh man, woods just been infested.
Yeah. There might be a war on the horizon. Not the probably best way to bring it up, but just so you know.
Well, kind of put that together. There is an army not too far from here.
So
Is it very
you
big?
don't just hang around here all day, I guess.
No, I'm a woodsman, as a matter of fact. Live in the woods, tend to it, try to do what I can to take care of it, and it takes care of me in my twilight years.
Sounds like a nice arrangement. I know a little bit about that, but on a broader scale, I suppose.
Yeah, I bet you do. Anyway, so, yeah, well, if you're looking for Skullgore Bridge, just keep going on the trail, keep going north, you'll get to it eventually. There's a couple of twists in the road. You'll come to a bit of a fork, just keep going straight. Then after that, when you get to a branch, the road will split, stay right, you'll go straight to Skullgore Bridge.
So how important is that bridge to you?
To me? Couldn't care less.
I just wanted to make sure. But, one more question, kind of, since you know these woods inside and out, I'm assuming.
I know these woods better than anyone alive today. Yes, I do.
We're talking to the right man then. The keep. Could you kind of give us a general heading, or if you can do better than a general heading, of where it would be and where would be the best way to approach it from Skullgore Bridge?
Hold on 1 second. Oh, the keep. Yeah, right. Well, as a matter of fact, you're not terribly far from it. It's just a little ways further north on the road. I told you that there was, in fact, a bit of an intersection. It's right there, at that intersection.
So there's two forks, right? The close one and then a far one? Is it the closer one or the further one?
2 forks?
Did he say two forks?
Oh, forks. Sorry. So, no,
it's
he
forks.
said that the first is a 4-way. It's an intersection.
Okay.
And then the second one is a fork.
Gotcha. I understand now.
So,
Well, that may complicate things. How close to the intersection is it exactly?
oh, it's right on it. apparently, way back when, it was used to guard that intersection. It used to be a big trade, what's-it thing, I don't really know. But it was put there on purpose.
So, I'm gonna guess there's no easy way around it either.
Well, not if you want to stay on a road, but you don't strike me as the kind of person who really needs to stay on a road.
That's true. My companions are less versed, but I've taught them a fair bit. They're much better than they used to be, that's for sure.
Well, that's good. It's
Does-
important that people understand how to get around in the wilds. It's too easy for people, always on roads, always in cities. Too hard to work with nature, so they just bend it to their will. Lazy.
Does this guy have any alchemical supplies around?
Make a perception check.
Oh, sure. 12.
12. I mean, you see that there are flasks full of things. You can't really tell what the things are. It could just be water. Like, you don't really know. But there are liquids in storage that are visible.
Ah, I see you're a fellow alchemist.
Oh, that stuff I've dabbled in the past, and you know how it is. Just a few little things, a couple of, healing salves. You live out here, yeah, you get an injury from time to time.
Yeah. Oh, we've gone through many injury, that's for sure.
Oh, that I've got no doubt. You look like the type.
Unfortunately. But, so one more question for you.
Of course, ask away.
So, have you noticed which direction things have gotten weirder? Usually there's an epicenter to these kinds of things. Do you have any idea where that could possibly be?
Well, you see, I have noticed things getting a bit weird. It's true. 1 second, please. Well, wherever it's coming from, I can tell you one thing. It's on the other side of Skullgore Bridge from you.
Mm-hmm.
Seems like we're at the outskirts of whatever manifestation this is.
Mm-hmm.
It gets weirder the further north you go.
Gotcha.
Well, I think we should be getting on the way if y'all are ready.
Hold on 1 second there. Hold on 1 second before you go. For one, let me ask you a couple of questions, if you don't mind, of course.
Depending on the questions, but probably won't mind.
Why are you out here?
Well, we are doing our best to at least slow down this army.
No. So then you're here defending the city. Alton, I'm guessing.
Indeed.
Fair enough.
Attempting to.
But that's noble and all, but why do it at all? You're out here alone, staring down an army? It's dangerous work. Why do it?
Well, more than one reason, honestly. One, because, well, for me personally, I'm not a fan of innocent people having to forfeit their lives in the name of a warpath. Secondly, if we don't stop them now, then we'll have to stop them later with less help, and it's going to be an uphill battle as it is. So, striking while we can. And thirdly, I guess there's a bit of a debt to settle. I'm assuming you've pinned me for what I am.
One more question. What does chaos mean to you?
I'm washing his hands.
Never really thought about it, honestly. If I were to hazard a guess, I suppose it would be just the randomness of the universe. All the factors combining together, resulting in whatever happens. All we do is try to sway it one way or the other in our favor.
In your favor?
Well, that's what we as people do. I would guess. Most of us, at least.
So, then you think nature is chaotic, then?
It can be.
And it can also be...
There's definitely order within the forest. I'm well aware. The balance of everything. Without order, or with too much order, then things can not flourish as they need to, I suppose. Well, without chaos, things can't flourish. But without order, things go rampant.
Huh.
So, I guess that's the other side of a coin, now that I've verbalized it.
Well then, last question. Because you're right, I pinned you for exactly what you are. And, how many of you are out there right now?
Out there?
Not as many as there once was, but we're trying to remedy that.
Well,
And I ask why you inquire.
and he just sort of walks away for a sec, grabs something off a table, comes back and he says, well, seeing you makes me happy, because for a long time, I thought I was the last one. And he hands you a book with a warden cover on it.
Oh.
Glad to see you've been making it out here all this time.
Making it's not the right word. Not really. I was hiding. After what happened, I thought it was everybody. I thought that was everyone that I knew gone overnight.
It's the case for all of us survivors, I think.
I didn't think that there were but me. I'm small, you know, hard to find. Easily disappear into a wood.
Yeah.
And I did. I'm too old to have fought or tried to put it all back together. I I was years and years from actively hunting anything, even when the wardens were still a thing. I was mostly just keeping records and tending to the keep.
Well, it's funny you should mention that. Also, real quick, I just want to insight check.
Oh yeah,
just
go right
for
ahead.
games and
Go right
giggles.
ahead.
No.
I'll say you have advantage specifically because he's trying to lie about something you know a lot about. If he is trying to lie, I should say.
Well, that's a nat 20, so...
That's a nat 20. Okay, no, he's not lying.
I
Like, now that
think
he's
so.
pointed it out, even the way he's carrying himself, his footwork, his movement, everything is just familiar to you. The way that he talks and acts and moves.
Gotcha. Well, funny you should mention that. We could use someone with your abilities and knowledge. And once a warden, always a warden. You're always welcome.
Well,
But I would recommend, with the nature of this conflict and the forces standing against us, they are not a fan of wardens, and they have mentioned more than once they would like to finish the job.
and they've tried. Let me tell you something. I've been watching them for a long, long time. And, well, you're used to being a hunter. But in this wood, while they're around, you're the hunted. I've never come across anyone or anything that could move in the woods the way that they could, or better way to put it, I've never met anything that could move in the forests and in the woods as good as I could. But they can, and there's been more than a few times where I only barely got away from them.
When you say they...
Not the everyday rabble, they're useless. I'm talking about the powerful ones. The ones with the unique pendants, the fingers of the red hand, as they call themselves.
Ah. Well, there's less of them to contend with now, but we've eliminated 3 thus far.
Well, that's comforting. Now, Bran, go ahead and make a persuasion check real quick. With advantage.
The persuasion... well, that's a 13 on the first one, and a 18 on the second.
Okay. So, he looks up at you, crosses his arms. You know, you're wearing the mantle of a warden commander, but you look a little bit young to me.
Bit of a field promotion, unfortunately, but...
He just chuckles when you say that. I think you're gonna be okay. Now, which keep were you referring to? Because we had a few.
Currently, our base is in Rent.
Oh, that one.
Place we call home.
It's not the one I'm from, but I've been there a few times. I know the way. If you don't mind a little extra company, I'm no fighter, just to be clear. I'm 123. I'm not gonna be getting in any combats. I mean,
Of course.
if I have to, but you know what I mean.
Life or death, of course, but we'll do everything we can to keep that from being the case. It's usually not our style anyways. Kind of a quiet, get in, get out kind of guys. Which I'm sure you will excel at.
I may not be able to fight or swing much anymore, but I can still move pretty quiet. I'll be able to get there, no problem. No problem at all. One last thing. The book I gave you, Bran, keep that close at hand. It's got some useful information in it for a warden.
Okay.
And as far as me, I will get set up at your keep and try to be as helpful as I can in putting it back together.
It's much appreciated. Should I hold on to this, or should you take it back to the keep?
Bran, I've been out here for 5 years and I've only got 3 books. I know it pretty well.
That's fair. I just wanted to make sure it got to where it would be safe.
Also, one other thing. And you see him deadlock onto you, Jules. And for just a moment, his eyes glow a gold color. And he looks at all of you sort of collectively, pointing at Jules and goes, "You know he's got a connection to the Feywild, right?"
I'd look at them like, is he pointing at me? Like,
Did I know that? Based on what Jules has shared with us, is that something I could have surmised?
probably not.
Probably not.
What do you mean, connection?
Don't know. But he's magical, isn't he? And I know that kind of magic.
Quite a bit.
It's Fey in origin.
Jules, is there something you're not saying?
When you say Fey in origin, like water all comes from the ocean, like it originates like traditionally, or like mine?
As in, the power you have is being drawn from the magic of the Feywild. All magic, all of it, is drawn from something. It's pulled from somewhere. All of it. Yours is being drawn from the Feywild.
I mean, mine was drawn from an old friend, but that's...
An old friend?
I mean, who said that? What? Why are we talking? So, I didn't even do any magic. How do you know what?
Did you not see the eyes glow gold?
I did. Yeah, but so and
I'm a 100
detach magic at will, like saying like I can do it too, but
I'm a 123-year-old warden. I know a thing or two about a thing or two.
He probably knows a thing or two about a thing or two. I kind of sound in my breath too.
But okay, so and
that's all. I was just making sure you knew.
So, Jules, you're kind of nervous talking. Let's just step it back to this friend you have.
Is there something you would like to share with the class?
I mean, so you know I didn't have a lot, right? Like I maybe could trick a guy into looking the wrong way. I could grab some food, you know.
Sure.
And the nightmares.
Well, I didn't really have any, but I mean, sure, I had some, but like, who doesn't? But then one day, this guy came up and was like, "Hey," he told me he would chime in every now and then.
Yeah. Did you make any kind of deal with this guy?
I mean, he helped me. It wasn't like a deal. It was like I'll help him.
And he'll help you? That sounds a bit like a deal. That sounds a bit like a deal, Jules.
But it's been fine. Has it not? I mean, I'm doing great. I'm alive. Probably wouldn't have been, if we're being honest. And it's fine. He doesn't. I mean, granted, it looks like nightmares, but they're not. I mean, it's not as bad as it looks. As worse than it.
I kind of want to side-eye Joel and see what his response to this information.
So, I mean, he's looking at him. He doesn't look like worried. He doesn't look concerned, but he looks more curious than anything. And honestly, when you look at him, he's just kind of looking at you, kind of like oh,
You're traveling with this guy kind of deal.
not so much like that. He's not judging you at all, actually. It's very much this just latent curiosity. He does not look judgmental. He does not look anything negative. Just, he said very specifically, I just wanted to make sure you knew. And, like, that's his whole demeanor.
Yes. Alright. Well, I think we have some things to talk about later, Jules.
It's fine. He hasn't asked, if you're wondering, he hasn't really asked for anything. So, we're fine.
He hasn't really. Define hasn't really. Either he hasn't or he has.
I've expected. If someone. This is cool, what I got going. And if someone gave me this, I would expect some go kill kings and big. No, that's not.
Jules, have you ever heard the saying, it's too good to be true? It usually is.
So far it hasn't. And I don't know what happens if I say no, so...
Just be careful. For all of our sakes.
So, after hearing this much of the conversation, Jor chimes in and he says, well, listen, as far as my experience, which, you know, a year or two, just be aware of it, because there are obviously malicious face spirits, or else we wouldn't have a job. But Bran, as well, you know, I hope, there are also good face spirits that are just curious, or, you know, the Fae is strange and it has a different kind of logic than our world. And do not ever, if a Fae spirit ever asks you to give it your name, to say no. To trust me, say no.
That's Warden 101 right there, but...
Yes. So, I don't know if there's some spirit associated with your friend. It could be fine. I've seen it before, and moreover, as a matter of fact, there is an entire group of wardens that have their whole purview is in contacting Fae spirits to increase their own power. There are not many. It's naturally risky, but it is a thing that has been done in the past.
Do I know anything about that group? Just me as Bryn.
You've heard of it. The keep that you were part of had those people. He's specifically referring to just a certain sort of subset of, on a very game mechanical term, there are clerics and paladins that are part of the ranger, or part of the wardens, that are that get their power through devotion to benevolent Fae spirits, and sort of a partnership in that way. So, gotcha. Because the Fae is chaos. It's wild, it's random, and when things are truly random, some things are just good. Some things are just good by nature. So, some things are not. That's what he's telling you.
Gotcha. Alright. I'll let it go with Jules for now, but I'll just reiterate again. Be careful.
Yeah, if anything, he's been trying to help. Really? We seem to be on the same page.
Nah. I hope it stays that way. Truly.
Yeah, me too, because I don't know what...
I wake up one night with you standing with a knife over me. It's not gonna end well. What's that?
No, if anything, he might be standing over me, but that's, like I said, I haven't said no because it's been fine. So I don't know.
I'm glad I work in a lab because all of y'all are fucking weird. This whole
Is that in game or out of game?
no, that's in game.
Kieran has manifested his life through Dubar.
Alright, well, do you need any help packing up, Joel?
Packing. I have like 2 books, a couple of little trinkets, and some dogs. I'm fine.
What's the name? What's the name of the book, by the way? Is it just a warden book?
So it's like a textbook, and as soon as you look at it and really look at it, there's a little bit of your heart that kind of sinks, because you had to read a bunch of shit like this when you were training. It's like a textbook. And the name of it is, the name of the book is On Fey Morality, and whether the creatures of the Fey are invariably good or ill.
I'm not typing all that out.
You can just call it On Fey Morality.
Good luck reading that. So I assume they fight, and then like point at the dogs.
Oh, sorry, 1 second. So, sorry, Jules, what'd you say?
I point at the dogs, and I assume they fight too.
Oh, yeah, these fearsome fighters. Been with me for, Beauregard specifically, has been with me for a very long time. She's an old dog.
One of your original companions?
Well, original, no, I'm 123, and even through the use of Fey magic, creatures don't tend to live quite that long.
Yeah.
But they've been with me a while. So, much like yours over there.
Indeed. She has,
I check to see if he's pointing at me again.
No. You see Jules just point at himself and then see Echo next to him and go, oh. So, anyway, well, off to Rind then, and you see him gather his 2 books, a couple of trinkets, and he hops on to Beauregard because he's a gnome and it's a giant mastiff. He goes, all right, Beauregard, off to Rind.
Is he leaving us in his house?
Yeah.
Before he gets too far, did you load up all your healing salves and all that good stuff, or...
Loaded up the ones I needed, the rest of yours. Have fun.
It's appreciated. We'll see you back up around.
And you find 3 healing potions.
Nice.
2 of them are regular healing potions. One of them is actually a greater healing potion.
I will take one of the normal ones, and you 2 can fight over the other ones.
Oh, you're a bit squishier, Jules.
So I'll take the greater.
Alright.
I want to examine his alchemist supplies.
Yeah, that's what I was going to recommend.
How-
While you're doing that, I'm going to run to the restroom.
Okay. Do Bargod make an alchemy check?
Oh, I gotta write down my potion.
What'd you get?
Yeah.
Oh, you just finished it.
Alchemy.
Okay.
Yeah. There's no.
Yeah, so it's a tool.
The alchemist tool.
The alchemist tools check, yeah. So you roll in intelligence and proficiency.
14.
14. So, a lot of it's familiar to you. Having seen the supplies that are available within the Castle Rind itself, the old Warden supplies, it's a lot of healing salves, and things of that nature, things that the Wardens need quite regularly. You do also see that there are the materials needed to make various poisons for the use of hunting regular animals. And you also see a couple of materials that, if put together properly, could forge oils that specifically harm fey creatures.
Like my Slayer shot thing?
Yeah.
How many bullets do I
Well,
have?
Dubar's looking at all this stuff. I want to see if he has any, spare archery materials just laying around.
You see there's arrows and stuff around. He did take off. Among the little trinkets that he was talking about was a quiver full of arrows and a bow. But, there's restringing benches and, bowstring and just things like that. General maintenance stuff.
Gotcha. So, you said on all your alchemical needs, there's nothing really else of use to sling around, right?
I guess I'll... I don't have that many bullets to spare.
I mean, if you want, we can load some of the stuff up in the bag of holding. That is, I didn't hear what all you found, but
Yeah, just write, supplies for Fey Slayer shot. I will know what that means.
I'm guessing I can also utilize some of these supplies, probably, right?
I will put it on it.
Are you proficient in alchemist tools, Bran?
Probably not. Where would I check that? I forget.
It would be tools proficiencies. If you're looking in Fantasy Grounds,
yeah.
It's not skills. It would be abilities. No, you don't have proficiency in any set of tools, actually, which is funny.
Yeah.
So,
well, Dubar could take advantage and help me utilize them, I'm guessing.
Yeah, can I put that stuff on arrows? My
yeah,
Slayer shot thing?
absolutely.
The Slayer shot.
Yeah, basically it does. Yeah, so let me read exactly what it does. You have to have supplies from like a specific type of creature, and you make it, and it does 4d6 extra damage on hit.
Oh.
Well,
So
Against that type of creature.
Yeah. So, question line: how would that interact with one moment, with Contra Barrage?
So it would not work on Conjure Barrage because Conjure Barrage is specifically an arcane effect that is manifesting spectral arrows, and the oil has to be applied to a physical thing.
It says the damage type is the same as that of the weapon or ammunition used as a component.
Right. Meaning, if it does piercing damage, then all the spectral arrows do piercing damage.
Gotcha. Okay.
Alright. It's not saying it does the same damage as that arrow, it does the same damage type as that arrow.
Yeah, so gotcha. So I guess the Slayer shot is technically magical.
If you took out a warhammer and you threw it and conjured barrage and conjured a barrage of warhammers falling from the sky, they would all do bludgeoning damage.
Gotcha. Okay. I would have been too broken anyway, so.
So, yeah.
Look it up. Right. Well, so knowing what we know now, the keep is between, well, I think we need to go take out the bridge now. We had 24 hours. It's been how long since we let, what's his name go?
It's been about an hour.
So, the clock's ticking, basically. And I don't know if we can clear that keep out and make it to where we need to go. What do y'all think? Do we go for the keep now, or do we go for the bridge now?
I think we gotta go for the bridge.
Yeah, I think that's the safer bet. So, we'll just have to do a little bit of off-roading. I'm guessing Jor would have gave us kind of better sense of how far away it is, like an hour, 2 hours kind of deal.
So, I'll say based on the way he was... Yeah.
Mhm.
Based on the way he was describing it, you are about... give or take about 16 miles from the bridge.
Mm-hmm. How far from the keep? And how long will it
How
take
far
us to get there?
How far from the keep? You're about...
Wrath Keep.
like 2 miles from Wrathkeep.
So pretty freaking close, right?
Yeah, and it's
Okay.
on the road that he described.
Yeah. So we're probably 30 minutes away from the keep. I'm just trying to get time frames right because I want to cast
Pretty
fast without trace on
much.
it, I think.
Yeah, you're about 30 minutes away. 2 miles at a walking pace. Kieran, you're an athlete.
2 miles at a walking, like a brisk walk.
Sure.
It's like 30.
30, 45, 30, 45, something like that.
I think I can walk 2 miles in 30 minutes. I did it the other day, actually. So, thereabouts. So maybe we'll walk for like 15 minutes, and then I'm gonna cast Pass Without Trace on us, and then because it lasts for an hour. And
Okay.
then we'll kind of veer off and try and get around the keep.
Okay.
So, might I get us to move stealthily? No, only I can move stealthily at a normal pace.
Correct.
Alright. Well, I will still cast Pass Without Trace on us once
Okay.
we get that 15-minute mark.
Okay. So you begin to journey. And you guys go for about... You're getting close to 15 minutes. And you see that the path slightly changes a bit. There's a wide expanse of dark water that has flooded the woodland in this low valley. Trees are still protruding from the calm, dark waters here and there, but many large reaches seem to be little more than open pools of algae-choked water. The trill of frogs and the whine of insects fills the air. The forest roads lead right down to the edge of this flooded section, up to a rickety-looking causeway made of thick planks of wood that are lashed together with mossy rope. And the wooden causeway seems to run for several hundred feet through the boggy patch, only a foot or so above the water. So this marks about the halfway point from you to Wrathkeep, according to Jor's directions.
Well, kind of limits our pathing a little bit, huh? Indeed.
How far is it?
How far is it?
Like
It says a few hundred feet.
to.
Does it change in elevation at all?
No, it seems to stay roughly about a foot over the water.
Okay. I can use a ritual spell, 10 minutes of concentration instead of casting it, correct?
Correct.
If we wait 10 minutes, rest, massage our feet, I can cast Tensor's floating disc and get us across.
How much weight can that hold?
500 pounds.
Yeah, this would be good.
The spell creates a circular horizontal plane of force, 3 feet in diameter, 1 inch thick, that floats 3 feet above the ground. It lasts for an hour.
Mm-hmm.
I have to be on it.
I like this, but it's gonna kind of make us a giant beacon. I'm guessing. What does the disc look like? Is it just like... what does the disc look like? Is it like glowing magic disc?
Circular horizontal plane of force.
So it's invisible? It's just a force.
Circular horizontal plane of force? Yeah, it would be. What's the spell again? Sorry, I'm reading my own thing right now.
Tensor's floating disc.
Tensor's... Yeah, it's just an invisible, like, platform of force. I believe, double check the spell, though. I believe it has a weight limit.
500 pounds.
500.
Okay.
But it's 3 feet in diameter.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm reading it correctly, that means I have to be on it the whole time and shuttle.
No, I believe it can follow you.
Well, it's iffy, and that's why I was asking how. You said a few hundred, but it's very specific. So you read it and let me know if.
Yeah, I'm pulling it up right now.
Specific, and based on what you deem is the actual terrain.
Spell creates a circular horizontal plane of force, 3 feet in diameter, and 1 inch thick that floats 3 feet above the ground in unoccupied space. Force to your... Okay, so it would work, and it would consider water as the surface. However, the disc is immobile while you are within 20 feet of it.
What? How does that work?
If you move more than 20 feet away from it, the disc follows you so as to remain within 20 feet of you. So you can't actually control its location. It just follows you.
Now hold on. And even though I use ritual to cast it, oh, it's not a concentration. Hold on. Am I about to be that guy?
Yep, be that guy. Go right ahead.
So, with my new right that I got, I can use ascendant step.
Yeah.
Levitate at will.
Yes.
So levitate rises vertically up to 20 feet, remains suspended. Concentration up to 10 minutes.
Okay.
And
I mean, if you're boogieing, we can make it, your 10 minutes runs up while we're there. It could get weird. Well, how many times can you do that? I guess you could land on the disc.
I can do levitate, I will. Oh, the disc lasts for an hour.
Yeah, but I was trying to figure out, like, once the 10 minutes elapse, what will you do?
Well, it's ascendant step. I can levitate at will. I just use the spell levitate for reference, but it says levitate at will.
Okay. Well, that's not going to be weird at all.
No, it's just a floating guy with invisible people following him.
Well, mostly invisible. Alright.
So there's one
Alright.
idea.
I'm down for this idea. It's better than trudging through the mud. And probably also stealthier.
Yeah,
And
let's
then
fucking go.
let's do it. I kind of go wide right, I think.
So I'll
Don't
spend the
you
10
feel?
minutes to get the disc. Can all three of them fit on 3 feet
That's a
diameter?
a third.
So if Dubar and Bran kind of hug and Echoes in between them, yeah. You'll be standing, but yeah.
You guys
I'm okay with that.
being real close.
I've had to experience worse with Dubar, so handle this.
So that someone has a point of reference on how this looks, Kieran, do you remember that store water challenge where they tried to fit 6 of them on a little beam sticking out of the water?
Yeah.
That's kind of what you're dealing with.
And then I'll use Ascendant Step. Levitate I will. And just levitate, like, I think how far I have to be?
20
So
feet.
21 feet. Just enough to where it starts following me. And just...
And once Jules starts levitating, I'm going to be like, Jules, when were you going to tell us you could fly?
It's not like I can fly. It's just...
You're pretty much flying right now.
You enjoy the ride. We said we'll talk, Will.
We will
I'm
talk
juggling
later.
things here. Do you want to have a talk? I'm floating.
No, go.
And I'll start to...
Okay, hold
Is
on
it possible-
one moment, please. Sorry, what were you... Sorry, go ahead real quick.
I was going to say, is it possible for me to have like my bow kind of at the ready? Do we have to be hugging each other, or can we kind of be like back to back?
With just 2 of you on there, I can say you can be back to back, but it's still like a very balancy sort of thing. It's
more precarious.
Yeah. Precarious enough that I think that's kind of what you have to be focused on in order to do it.
I can't be on the lookout too. Oh, can I be on the lookout as well or no?
No. I'm gonna say with this plan, you've got to just be focused on not falling. To the extent that, like, you can see what's around you, you're not, like, blind, but you're not, like, observing every detail and, looking for signs of mood. Like, no, not like that.
Well, then I would like to summon Athena and kind of have her fly Overwatch for us. Kind of off to our left, like between us and where the keep is.
Okay. Didn't you send Athena off to take a message to Edmund?
Did I? I think so. Yeah.
Athena's on a world tour.
Yeah.
I think Athena's carrying a so you can summon Athena.
Nah, but
all right. Yeah, I'm fairly certain she's off right now.
Trying to look back at my notes. Apparently I did not make note of it, so but I'm pretty sure you're right. Well, can Echo be lookout, or does she also have to focus on not falling?
Echoes. Anyone who's riding on the disc is focused on not falling. That's sort of your reality.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Although, I mean,
Yes.
so before I get on this, how feasible is it for me to kind of Tarzan my way across this? And it's kind of
It would
jumping,
massively
climbing,
slow your progress.
even though I have climbing speed. Me and Echo both have climbing speed.
I'll tell you this. It may not slow your progress, but there would be a check involved.
Oh, yeah, I'll think. Mental gym.
Oh,
Good idea. Bad idea.
I'm not sure, to be honest.
So, if I were to climb, would Dubar have to focus on staying on as much?
If one less of you were on there, I would say that you'd actually be able to sit on the disc and you'd be able to just ride very easily, and Dubar would be able to focus.
So, basically, expediency or slow and steady. And slow and steady will be probably safer, but also more risky in a way. What do you think? We can either stick to the original plan, or we could try my new and improved questionable plan.
Yeah, let's just keep going.
Alright. Let's get along, little doggies.
Okay, then. So, you guys begin to move across this swamp-like area, following near to the trail, but staying off it and far enough away that anything watching it hopefully won't see you. Are you casting Pass Without Trace now?
I would have previously.
Okay, that's fine. So I want all of you to go ahead and make a stealth check. Make one for Echo, Josh.
And then
How
plus
much is
10.
Pass Without?
Yeah, and then plus 10.
18, 30, 40 for Bran. And
You know what? Actually, Echo and Dubar's doesn't matter. Because the person's controlling their stealth, because they're not in control of their own movement right now, is Jules. So,
well,
I just need Bran and Jules.
Well, I'm on the disc.
Oh, I'm sorry. I misheard you. You all decided to just ride the disc. Okay. So then Jules is the only one that matters.
Well,
I rolled.
Can I coach him?
Well, I don't think he
Roll
needs
to
it.
assist him?
The 34.
So,
I mean, I just don't want my 40 to go to waste. I'll be honest.
you are especially hidden while standing on a 3-foot circle, the same exact location as the other guys.
Maybe I'm standing behind Jules and I'm kind of like, here left.
You're actually exactly 20 feet
Alright.
behind Jules, because that's how far away the disc follows from him.
Yeah.
So, Jules, in your head, you're just thinking, be like Bran, be like Bran, be like Bran. I'm floating in a swamp.
And 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2.
I am floating over a swamp, floating over a swamp, floating over a swamp. How do you be stealthy floating? So,
I mean, arguably, that is pretty stealthy. No footsteps.
yeah, there's an element of it. And you know what, Bran? I won't let your 40 go to waste. As you are covering this swampy area, you make note of a couple of interesting things. For one, you see a lot of orc and goblin carcasses in the water. And then you see just under the water something moving. It does not appear to have noticed you.
I'm just gonna hold my tongue.
And you manage to...
Straight.
What?
I'm eyes straight. Just no look. I'm concentrate.
So, you guys manage to seemingly
Circumvent the swamp.
avoid the attention of whatever this is. Although I do have to say, Jules, on your Eldritch Invocation, read to me exactly what it says.
Stand by while I go get the player's handbook, because I just wrote a cliff note.
Okay. I mean, I can maybe just find it here, but...
I'll be right back.
Okay.
Also, go ahead and throw up the 15-minute warning.
Sounds good. Eldritch Invocations. Ascendant Step. Okay. So... yeah. So, Jules, the way that this works is you can cast this spell at will. But that does mean at some point the spell still
I got
ends. I already found it.
Alright.
Sorry, dude. So, Jules, the way that this is worded, it says you can cast Levitate at will.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And that is true. But that does mean, because you are working under the effects of the Levitate spell, that means after a time, it does end. And you have to recast it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, I want you to make an Arcana check real quick.
I mean, based on sure. Few hundred feet, because you said few hundred feet. Moving
Yeah.
at the speed should not be more than 5 minutes.
Listen. It's not a difficult DC. I just need to check. All
I
right.
would say it's not. Oh,
So, 11 is enough.
nice. Saved.
So,
Dog bless.
What happened?
Jules knows the spell. He will have to recast the spell, basically, to not fall into the swamp. Is my synopsis. Am I correct?
and the Arcana check was just to determine if, for one thing, if he was operating at full efficiency, and if he did need to recast it, if he could do that before he plummeted. Which, again, because it is a cantrip, you can cast it at will, and you're not going that far, the DC was basically don't roll a 1. You didn't roll a 1. So...
Not a cantrip, but I get what you're saying.
No, Levitate is like a level 1 spell. Anyway, still it's the same. Don't roll a 2, then, was the DC. But you make it to the other end of the water. Now, one of you at least has the knowledge that there is something in the water.
Which, as soon as we are out of the water, I will convey to them. What kind of something can I?
It was a
big something.
Make a survival check. Because that has to do with tracking and stuff like that.
No, just kidding. Skills, survival. That is a 19.
A 19. It was a very big something.
Alrighty then. I'm very glad we did not encounter said big something, and I vote we don't do that again on the way back.
So
it was a wonderful ride, but I don't want to test my luck. I was counting bodies as we went by. How many bodies did I count on our way by?
Probably about 6 goblins and a handful of orcs.
Yeah. Not saying we couldn't handle it, but I'm saying don't test our luck. Alright, so we still probably have about 30 minutes to pass without trace. If I waited till we were 15 minutes out from the keep.
Yeah, absolutely. You still have you still have more than that. It took you less than 10 minutes to cross this. So
Okay.
you have still like
35.
50. We'll say 50.
Nah, I would have cast it a little ways out before we. I was just, okay.
I'll give it to you.
I'll take it. I'll stop arguing.
So, and then you guys continue on as the Witchwood gets definitely at this point, this far in, you are beginning to notice that just this place is starting to feel very
Hey.
Fey-ish. And not in a normal way. You're with the Feywander ability that you have, I think you actually are definitely starting to detect some kind of a leak is a word that you could use.
Yeah. That plus being a warden.
That too. And you continue further and further in, and Dubar, you begin to have a very odd sensation. Still there, bud?
I tried to say but I didn't pick it up.
Oh, okay. Just this very kind of all-consuming discomfort. Nothing feels right. Nothing feels like it's how it should be. This place seems to almost be too wild, too chaotic.
But me and Jules are not experiencing this feeling.
No, not really.
Like,
Not to the extent.
It's more we're aware of it kind of deal.
You guys are aware of it, and it seems to not affect you quite as bad, but Dubar, I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Seven.
7.
Yeah.
I need you to mark 1 point of fear onto your character sheet.
Yes.
Good.
Hold it together, boy. Breathing exercises.
So, and
How
as
far are we
you
from the
begin,
bridge?
you're pretty far from the bridge at this point. In fact, you see up in the distance a very decrepit and ruined structure beginning to appear at the edge of your vision that you recognize definitely as what could only be Wrathkeep. And we will end it there for tonight.
Oh ho ho.
Okay.
What on the...
I totally misunderstood. I thought we already made it around the keep.
Oh, no. That's the swamp water was before the keep.
Gotcha.
So,
Team 6 is back. I could feel Lane's frustration.
oh, don't worry, I'm fine. And with that, goodbye, Internet, and we will see you next time.